Hobo, the homeless man game where Hobo takes over the world with his disgusting, vulgar, smutty, crude, earthly, obscene, any adjective in the book. A hobo is lying there sleeping on city dump truck trash cans. Policeman wakes him up to remind him where he actually is. As the creator says, "This homeless guy woke up on the wrong side of the trash can and decides to take it out on everyone." This was inspired by another Flash game called Dad and Me, which the creator loves a lot. Goes ahead and beats up the first cop, marking the start of his homeless crusade against the human race. In the next round, he fights two city dump truck guys. One gets scared and escapes with the dump truck.
This might be a little foreshadowing.
This game really doesn't hold back with how disgusting you can get. That all starts with you learning to spit. Spit on opponents, any people. There's awesome graffiti, and one guy seems to have done it all. He's a genius. This game showcases amazing brilliance and creativity, portraying every disgusting thing a human can possibly do through this homeless man. I don't even know if he has a name, but we will soon learn the martial arts of the hobo. You can think of it, the hobo martial arts, like the Shaolin Drunken Fist form, which is a form of kung fu combat. Now, the hobo by himself will cause friendly fire. He does not care about his fellow homeless men. There is a bit of a theory here, with each homeless man he encounters and beats up. There's something about being homeless and getting beat up that ignites a flame in you to cause massive destruction. You will see proof of this later on. Hobo could have been a businessman, but now beats up a whole family to close up this hot dog shop. Maybe he used to work at a hot dog place and this was their competition, or he worked at that exact hot dog place and got replaced, and now he's sleeping on trees and trash cans. The cool thing about these Flash games back then was that you would have random passwords for checkpoint areas. It was a convenient way to avoid implementing save files in games. Sometimes people have crazy anger issues and run at the hobo with full force. And don't forget about beating up children. A kid with a Bart Simpson t-shirt is seen across the games and is probably the most awesome Easter egg. I'm just glad the hobo is an environmentalist and speaks for the trees. Well, in this case, with his fists and his bodily fluids. Like the Lorax! And the most insane villain reveal in this game is a big monster truck. Cool enough, it's the city dump truck from the start, which is actually the final boss. When the hobo finishes it off, the most livid cop appears out of nowhere and the hobo dances on his opponent's grave, doing the most epic victory stance that leads him straight into prison. There, the hobo finally has his own room, a door, and even a bed. On the 17th day in the cell, you can see he enjoys it with "Home Sweet Home" indented on the wall. Let's just skip over the fact that there's pee all over his bed. Nice. Now we get into Hobo Brawl.
Our beloved Hobo is back. Last time we left him happily in prison, and now he's ready for another disgusting brawl. Prisoners, security guards, or the government. He doesn't care. He'll fight them all.
It's weird. He switches to a new cell, and the bed still has pee on it, but the toilet has poo. This is completely insane because the homeless man I beat up in the last game is now my prison inmate. It's kind of unfortunate, but they removed the ASAS trick where you like it, which was very OP. Well, you can kind of still do it, but you have to cancel and then do it again, which is annoying. What's crazy is that you can hit people against chairs and tables and everything will collide together, causing maximum damage and pwnage. Wow, today's special is crap? What the hell is wrong with these guards? I'm glad they made us learn how to pee, at least in this game, because the homeless guy only knew how to pee his bed. Drop soap is the greatest password that can ever exist. Well, besides one you will see on Hobo 6, hell. Just get ready for that one. Oh no! I feel for you, brother. The shower just doesn't even use water. I think that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle jizz. The poo is the exact color of every black person in the game. I swear, it's not racist. The game is not racist, I swear. Now it's time for the coolest move you've ever seen in your life. The projectile super vomit. Or the super projectile barf. That name in progress. Its range in the game is actually infinite. Well, infinity isn't a number, so it could probably go around the whole millions. Next, we get into the weapons territory. You first gain your first gun, a pistol. From here on out, you'll see how pistols really shape the game in a different way. Personally, it kind of ruined the concept, completely ruined it. But yeah, we earn the ability SASA, Big Mega Diarrhea, baby. As the password shows, it is prison break time. In this stage, the hobo runs along, beats up cops. Then comes the coolest reveal. The SWAT now has to beat up the hobo because the cops couldn't do it. How can you let a homeless guy do this to you? First it was the city dump truck. Now it's a SWAT vehicle. They're both shaped very similarly. I wouldn't be surprised if they used the same sprite, just changed the look. And the last SWAT member goes from super poo to cool action gun switch. And that's the second game. And with every game you beat, you unlock a master password that gives you all the combos if you want to just start the game from the beginning with all the combos, not you going into the game having to learn the combos at each step of the way. For the previous game, the master combo was Super Hobo. Now it's Mega Hobo.
Hobo 3 continues with the storyline where Hobo is a wanted fugitive after escaping from prison, and the government wants him dead or alive.
Now it's our new favorite escape convict Hobo, and they want him dead or alive. Just gone from this earth, basically. They don't even care anymore. We get a classic cop wake-up scene like in the first game. As we get deeper into the games, the grosser the combos become. Just be warned. I did warn you, okay? At this point, I don't even believe the hobo is a human anymore. He might be some type of alien. He can bring his eyes out of their sockets. Which is cool because it's a long-range attack. And the most beautiful thing in the world, you might wonder? Maybe it could be solving world hunger. Or memorable moments with your family. Winning $1 million. No. Infinite beer. I wish there was driving in this game to complement this madness. The gun can get pretty annoying, but there are beautiful, eloquent table chair combo attacks. That was shown in this previous game with the chair and the table. And let's not forget the Bart Simpson lover. Beautiful. Here we get introduced to a magnificent beauty. The shotgun. It does an insane amount of damage. If you're close range, it can do the most damage. If you're far, it does basically a third or less of its damage. It's a nice detail showing how actual shotguns work, because if you're far, not every pellet is gonna hit. And finally, one of the silliest things you'll ever see. This person's a crossbreed of a black guy and a white guy sprite, so he looks like he was kind of burnt. A very silly move is the tongue slap. I love it. Now, this is the most controversial gun they've ever added. If he shoots slowly, I'm not even kidding. This gun has infinite ammo. This MP7 looking gun. So you can basically just play a brainless gun game. This is why the guns kind of just defeat the purpose of the game in my opinion. The way to get rid of this gun is to spam shoot. Then the game will realize, oh, maybe this gun actually doesn't have infinite ammo. Yes, thank you. Thank you for confirming my point, game. Now for the final boss, the SWAT helicopter. It spawns a couple of guys with different guns and a gun on the helicopter itself because the gun really just makes the game watered down and boring. By the way, if you made it this far, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. Trees are his favorite. They're the only living beings he has not tried to beat up, basically. I'm not even joking. Cars, tables, chairs, people, kids, police, SWAT members, homeless guys, you name it. You name it, I buy it, you sell it. Hobo 4 Total War.
This time our beloved Hobo takes on the whole army. He is a wanted menace and everyone wants him dead. Prepare for total war, Hobo style.
Hobo now wakes up and fights in a military base, taking on military cars with 2 guys. One driving and one throwing grenades, and military members with knives. Hobo can now throw grenades and can also acquire a rocket launcher from one of the soldiers. The homeless man picks up a new trick where he pops out his eyes out of his sockets and his whole head gets shot out while being attached to his esophagus. The amazing free unlimited beer machine makes a beautiful comeback in this game. Located beside Jack's Fishing Supplies. Bass Pro Shoppings? Hell no, we got Jack's Fishing Supplies. We earn the ability to dash and leave poo in the dust of any enemy that encounters us. The Hobo also gains the coolest ability in existence, to projectile barf and poo at the same time. All you have to do is type sad. But is it going to be enough for the final boss, which is a whole f***ing tank? Actually, it's insanely easy if you keep the MP7 from the previous encounters. Once the Hobo defeats the boss, he gets his well-earned slumber, only to be interrupted by a UFO there to abduct him. He probably got like 10 seconds of sleep, pretty nice. Hobo 5 Space Brawls, Attack of the Hobo Clones.
Hobo has been abducted by aliens and finds himself on a UFO in deep space. Aliens have used his DNA to clone him and are in the process of making a Hobo army. They also drained Hobo of all his combo moves, so he has to fight aliens and Hobo clones to get them all back.
I don't know why the title's so big, but they added a cool little galactic font in the menu, which is awesome. When the Hobo got beamed up by the aliens, they shackled his arms and knocked him out to drain all his combos with a huge alien probe in his mouth. This woke him up, and then he ripped through the shackles, and the mayhem of the game begins. Little did we know, when they drained his powers, they cloned him, hence the title,
Attack of the Hobo Clones.
Probably an irrelevant fact, but indeed, the red is ugly. The clones have all my combos while I struggle to gain them all back, which is very nuts. They basically gave me memory loss while the Hobos get my memories? That's messed up! The first clone came out of a big liquid chamber cylinder. Quite yucky. Now we can defeat an alien who has a cool alien laser gun, which makes defeating the clones easier. Basically, it's a pistol but looks maxed out. Then we get a cool laser beam obstacle that turns on every 2 seconds and lasts for 2 seconds. Guns can be stationed on the walls of the map, which is awesome. A new gun just dropped. We can now get the laser beam shotgun from one of the aliens we defeat. They can also be found on the walls. Popular McDonald's mascot Grimace may have something to do with the whole cylinder filled with liquid to power the homeless clones of our OG homeless man. And that's just a theory. A game theory. Fascinatingly, the clones don't get knocked back like the rest of the enemies. Besides, obviously big tanks and the helicopters and cars in the game. The closer you are with the beam shotgun, the more damage you do to the enemies. There are all types of different aliens, even though they all look the exact same: hostile, passive, and angry. You reach the final boss, which is just the main alien that has been spawning clones of the homeless guy all along, assuming he is the mastermind behind the cloning process. I mean, he is in there typing away on the computer that spawns in the coded in hobos with my memories. You basically just use sad behind him, and while he keeps spawning clones. Easy as that. And you defeat him. And with that, the hobo just, I guess, takes over the UFO. I don't know who is manning the ship, but it's heading to an unknown destination. He casually sleeps against one of the thin pillars of the ship. A very well-deserved rest. Hobo 6 Hell. The menu already looks nuts.
Our dearest Hobo has died and gone to hell. He now needs to face hordes of demons and Master Satan. This should be all in a day's work for Hobo.
Boys, strap in, we are going to hell. It's the best menu screen yet, with the hobo appearing to burn alive. The story continues with the hobo casually sleeping in the UFO, then running out of oxygen and dying, sending him to hell. Awesome. Now we have to fight demons in hell, and we can throw big red hell boulders. Hobo can acquire a whip from enemies, which packs a nice punch. The whip has long range, which is very convenient, and does the same damage as the pistol. The environment is hazardous, with flame holes on the ground that can hurt you, and dead people hung upside down on crosses. We now have enemies who are just average people sent to hell, probably for heinous things they did. I mean, the homeless guy committed criminal warfare and stuff, so now he's in the afterlife. Some demons have gold horns, which is pretty cool. People can be seen hung on what looks like to be meat hooks, like in Dead by Daylight, and you can punch them, making them like hell punching bags. Hobo now fights a new enemy, a hairball with wings. Maybe it's a reference from Doom. And learns to fart fire. Every man's dream. You've probably seen on YouTube these videos of people just farting with spray cans and trying to make the flame come out of their butt. But this game made it a reality. And you can do this with Saw on the keyboard. Demons can breathe fire, but regular hell visitors can't. The Hellboy checkpoint password is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, and it's probably a reference to the Hellboy movie. Dead people punching bags. One side is regular, but the other side is NBA regulation size. Like how urinals have one that is lowered for shorter people next to the tall ones. There are these weird bee-shaped hell bugs that spew out demons. If there are still demons from it on the map, it farts and barfs fire and on top of you until you defeat the demons. Then it spews out more. However, its health is pretty low. Now the hobo actually learns how to make actual explosive fire farts. The Saw's ability on the keyboard is insanely strong, insta-killing when the explosion of the fart happens. I'm never eating a Taco Bell again. The boulder could be amazing when you can do the same type of collision added massive damage like when Hobo was previously in prison with the whole tables and chairs. There are Doom references, which I like. The second password legit is called Doom. It's interesting because the average people from the first game got sent to hell. And we encounter them again here. Like, is everyone just a terrible person and I just beat them up conveniently, sending them to hell? Okay. Now, for the award for the greatest password ever. Poop. That was definitely worth the wait, wasn't it? Many heinous hell killings later, and Hobo learns to spit fireballs from his mouth at people. It's more of a range attack similar to the fart explosion. This does insta-kill when anyone touches the fire that gets spat out. Man, I love this game. The best part is the Bart Simpson fan is in this game as well, but as a demon. I love it. He has been featured in a total of 3 instances now. Cool new demon enemies. Well, not new. They are based on characters from Hobo 1, but have a different design. There's the skull guy, the happy sued face guy, the bolt and gold horn guy, and the dress shirt guys. Many awesome fights later, the final boss is the devil himself. With long gray horns and a nice pitchfork, he spawns 2 demons on his left and right and keeps stabbing you until you defeat his lackeys. And then he spawns more continuously. When you are done, Hobo proceeds to grow an angel halo and angel wings and gets beamed up to the sky, probably to the nice lands of heaven.
The 7th and final epic episode of the Hobo series. Hobo finds himself unwelcome in heaven after defeating Satan. Now he has an appointment with God.
Hobo is now casually sleeping in heaven against a golden tree when a heavenly being wakes him up by hitting him with a binder. Turns out, hobos are not allowed in heaven. Now, there are golden apples in the game to throw. These might be individuals who did extra good deeds or just guards that come out of the statues. Hobo learns to throw his halo as a boomerang and can grow wings to fly forward. Though explosions still make for better combos, because that doesn't insta-kill, but these definitely do. The same bald man from hell is now in heaven, holding a cross. Some citizens drink from a fountain that looks like it's filled with milk from a golden chalice, rather than holy water. Golden angels can project gold beams from their faces. After reaching a checkpoint and unlocking the gold beam ability, you get a cool new power. A new cool angel enemy teleports with lightning and upon defeat can give you a golden sword of awesomeness. Instead of an infinite beer machine, you get fruit dispenser. Definitely a lame substitute. Now, the most horrific combo in the game, Sad W. This is probably the most horrific looking thing out of everything they've ever added in the game. This involves not just diarrhea and super puke, but also projectile peeing and bleeding. It's the craziest thing ever, and my body's shaking, including my booty. The final boss is God himself, which is the wildest thing to experience. You were once a homeless guy sleeping under a tree, and now you're fighting God? I personally died many times and had to switch to easy mode to beat him. The final boss has an insane amount of health with a head or long golden arm and lightning attacks, plus spawns golden angels continuously, making it much harder than it needed to be. Once you finally defeat the boss, God grabs you and shows that everyone basically lives like a homeless person. Then the hobo calms down and falls asleep again. Wait, what? This was the most anticlimactic ending. I'm confused and I don't have words for this. Well, that was me researching this video long and hard, long and wild, and I thought to myself, oh, figured it out. Probably was all just a dream to the hobo. This was the Hobo series. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all and I'll see you later. Okay, peace.